All right, Mr. 42% Rachaad White himself, Jacob Sanderson. We are here. We are drafting a Best Ball Mania team. I am hoping to draft enough running backs early that we don't need to get Rachaad White. Are you taking less Rachaad White now that ADP chasing has driven his price up?
Yeah, I would love to know like the isolated metrics on how much I'm personally responsible for Rachaad White's ADP going up. I have no idea. I'm taking less. I'm still taking a lot more than 8.3%. I'll say that much. I mean, it's a range of the draft where if I need a running back, like I just feel like the drop off after him and a couple other guys is catastrophic. But like I'm like into ish JCM and the Minnesota backs, but like much less. And after those guys, like if I'm not willing to slap it up with you on Keaton Mitchell, like it is bleak. Like I've even taken some Chris Rodriguez for that reason.
No,
where it's like I need.
I'll totally co-sign why it would be possible that if you're not someone who is obsessively tracking your exposures and kind of just drafting teams, you get into this range of the running back room. It's dark. You have the Rachaad White, JCM, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, C-Rod. And if you are not a Keaton Mitchell guy, or you're not a Tyrone Tracy guy, or like me, I'm not really a Woody Marks guy, then you just sit there and you're like, well, who am I going to take?
Well, like scroll up slightly on this running back group. Just scroll up like 2 or 3 more. Because like to me, it's like I'm into this range. I'm like RJ Harvey. I'm like, okay, that's a young player who has like an actual opportunity to have a role, and then potentially, dream scenario, he's a ascending player who can consolidate a lot of the backfield. After that, it's like, okay, Rico Dowdle is the non-pass catching half of a timeshare. Kyle Monangai is the non-pass catching half of a timeshare. Blake Corum is like a backup. And then there's a group of the 4 guys that I mentioned who I think have like at least a plausible path to being RB1, maybe 5, where it's like White, JCM, the 2 Minnesota guys, and C-Rod. But I think Aaron Jones is mega washed. Jordan Mason doesn't have any pass catching upside. JCM doesn't have pass catching upside. Chris Rodriguez doesn't have pass catching upside. So White just looks the most attractive of that group. But then, yeah, like you mentioned, if you miss that group entirely and you need running backs, like there's no one else who's getting you like projectable early season points. Like you get into it and it's like, I understand that we have to order the backup running back somehow, but I feel terrible.
They are
like
kind of
Woody
done
Marks,
in a
Tyrone
nonsensical...
Tracy.
Yeah.
Like that's just a gross range of the draft. And oftentimes you'll get to a certain point where the best wide receiver options are guys I do like, where it's like Rashid Shaheed, Omar Cooper, Travis Hunter, Jalen Coker. They're still there. And the best running back available on the board is like literally Woody Marks. I'm like, like I'm not getting into that. So there's some guys I don't totally hate. Like I'm not super, like I'm kind of into Spears. I'm kind of into Sampson. I'm like kind of into Coleman, but he's like purely a late season bet. I'm not expecting anything the first 4 to 6 weeks from him. I'm not very in on like the Tracy, the Pacheco, the Marks, the.
You know
Brian
what's funny
Robinson.
is
That's
I don't
a
really
gross
like
range
Tracy. I don't really like Tracy for best ball. I can imagine me having a lot of Tracy in manage just because I think he is going to be someone who you can just toss out there. Like if you needed a flex starter in week 5, I think you can do a lot worse, or a running back too in week 5. Ken Walker sprain, because apparently everyone's been telling me Ken Walker is injury prone. Right. So Ken Walker sprains his ankle and misses a game. All right, Jacob, we are drafting at the 10 slot here in Best Ball Mania. I'm thinking that we're going to get one of these. These are my favorite starts. These starts where you get to take one of these really good wide receivers, and then I mean, do you ever take Jeanty over Jefferson?
I take Jeanty over Jefferson every single time, but I'm open to a Jefferson start.
I will allow you to drive the plane, land the ship, however you'd like the rest of the way. I can't get there. I'm completely with you on Jeanty. Like sometimes I take Jeanty at 6, the thing that you were doing. Like sometimes, and for whatever reason, it doesn't feel as bad to do it there because I'm like, oh, I'm such an alpha. I'm taking him over Jonathan Taylor. Like, look how smart I am. But when it's literally Justin Jefferson standing there and Jeanty, my like anti-slappy control, it's like how a self-driving car activates. My sense is going. I mean,
Cook.
It's got to be Cook.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice value.
That is, I'm going to guess Jefferson and Cook is an insanely rare combo in Best Ball Mania. I'm going to guess that's less than like 5% of drafts. Yeah, that's got to be really, really nice. Sure. Yeah. And I don't even love, 0.4%. I have that on 4 of 711 teams. And obviously I would take it whenever offered. So that is a very nice combination to get us started there.
Yeah, I'm in on that. I think the reason why I've tended to go, I do take some Jefferson, and I take him over both Lamb and St. Brown, but I've tended to go running back in that range. As the next time it might be a long time until I get a running back option I like when you pick from that side of the board, because like you're more in on some of these guys than I am, but like I'm never clicking Kyron. I'm never clicking Javonte.
You're kind of besmirching my good name. It's not that I'm in on Kyron or in on ETN or in on Javonte. My drafting strategy just reflects the reality that they're probably pretty good picks. I
just don't think that they are. And like, and if I start from this side of the board with 2 running backs almost every time, then they don't even need to enter my thought space, right? Like if you start your draft with Ashton Jeanty, Saquon Barkley, then you've like set yourself up to never need Javonte Williams in your life.
My degree of confidence in the wide receivers who are available at 34 and 39 is also probably lower than the average Slappy analyst. Like I can see seasons where Garrett Wilson's pretty bad, Tet is pretty bad, Ladd is pretty bad. Like what is Ladd's ADP going to be tomorrow if Keenan Allen signs tonight? Where would you have Ladd ranked?
Probably in like the early 5th.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just a range where
spots.
It's like not only do I not really want any Javonte, it's more that is like one of the ranges where there's actually more wide receivers that I want to be overexposed to than I have teams. Like I want to be, in a perfect world, I would like to be overweight on Flowers, overweight on Wilson, overweight on Higgins, overweight on Burden, overweight on Ladd, overweight on Tat. I want to be way overweight on Loveland. Like that's obviously not actually possible to do, but it's like a little bit more possible to do if I simply never take Javonte Williams or Kyron Williams. And if I start with 2 running backs, then I can just hammer pass catcher twice there, especially because like I don't know who the running back is going to be at 58. Like it might be nobody I like. So here, this is that group of wide receivers that I really like.
Take your pick.
He is probably my favorite here, but like I kind of spin the dial. Like this group of wide receivers, similar to the 4 or 5 turn group of running backs, is like I like them all similarly, and I take them in pretty different orders to maintain my exposures.
Spinning the dial is I mean, that would be an exact representation. I guess I have the least amount of Ladd. I've been taking him more recently. Anigbuka. I mean, the issue is that I have 23% of Luther Burden. It is June 25th, and I have $1,200 worth of Luther Burden on Underdog. So I've been taking a ton of him. I mean, I think that Javonte is easily the pick here, but I'm letting you drive because I got my way earlier.
Yeah, I'm taking Garrett Wilson.
Okay. Hey, I think it's totally fine. I think we are then put in a position though to take another guy that you don't like, which would be Jadarian Price at 63 if he is available there. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like that's something. This exact choice of like I have to now take Price or I have to take Javonte is like why I just don't take Justin Jefferson, because then I don't get forced into picks that I don't like later. But I think it's reasonable. My hope is that one of Tootin or Judkins falls to 58. That would be my ideal scenario.
That happens with enough frequency that I think you can basically count on that. You will get one of Tootin, Judkins, Swift, not really Montgomery anymore, but generally speaking, you will get one of this group of guys.
Yeah, even
Henderson,
Bucky.
Tootin,
if
Swift,
one of those
Bucky.
guys falls to the 5'8", that would make me happy, especially because it's not really a wide receiver range I'm like as hot on. Like in a perfect world for me, this team would be a falling running back at 58, and then probably Burrow with Higgins
Burrow
at
at
63.
63. Yep. Yeah. I structurally agree with you in terms of if your prior is that you don't like drafting ETN, Kyron, Javonte, Scatterboot, Jacobs, whoever in that at that 3-4 area, then it totally makes sense. The issue that I would take with that is that you are passing up on a guy. Like if I told you right now, Kyler Murray finishes the year 11th in EPA per play at quarterback, isn't Justin Jefferson probably going first overall again next year?
No, I don't think. I think
Okay.
we've like realized that wide receivers score fewer points than running backs and have
Okay.
PPR.
Is he the first wide receiver drafted next year? If I tell you that Kyler Murray finishes like, how about I don't even tell you that? How about I just tell you Kyler Murray starts 17 games and the Minnesota Vikings are not eliminated for from the postseason until week 18, till their final game.
Like, I think he could be in the mix. I don't know that he's ever going to go ahead of Chase or Puka if Matt Stafford.
He's been better than these guys, and not that decent. Not
but like
that
with a
long ago.
much better quarterback situation. Like with like Cousins, who's like the absolute GOAT. Well, not anymore, but like with prime Cousins, who is a total GOAT of fantasy production to wide receivers. Like Sam Darnold played really, really well that year, and Jefferson still was not on the level of Chase and Puka at all during the Sam Darnold year. He was a tier below. Like if we can get back to that level, then I think there's a good chance for Jefferson to outscore St. Brown and Lamb. It's unfortunate. So I assume none of the running backs that we wanted are here.
None of the running backs got to us.
So then to me, it's like, what do we want to do? Because I do think we want a second running back. So I guess we just take
Price?
fucking Price. Yeah. This is why I don't.
This is why you don't take Justin Jefferson, folks.
Yeah.
Well, it's either why you don't take Justin Jefferson or why you suck it up and take Javonte Williams. I mean, we could have got Javonte Williams and T. Higgins in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the. I think I would rather have. So basically, it comes down to
what 2v2 would you rather have?
It's your choice of 2v2s. So either your 2v2 is Jeanty and Watson. Or let's do this pick first. So
Burrow.
I think it's Burrow probably. Yeah, I don't see a reason to not take Burrow. So your 2v2 basically becomes either like in my preferred 2v2, it is Jeanty and Christian Watson compared to Jefferson and Jadarian Price. The other 2v2 could be Javonte Williams and Christian Watson versus Garrett Wilson and Jadarian Price.
Yeah, I think Javonte and Christian Watson is better.
I think Javonte is like a legendarily awful pick. Like I can't wrap my head around this. This is what I don't understand. Like 2-3 years ago, we would never even entertain this. Like we're talking about a running back with a sub 0.6 yards per route run. Do you know how many games after CeeDee Lamb came back from his injury in like week 6? How many games do you think Javonte Williams had more than 10 receiving yards?
Buddy, you are preaching to the choir. I fully acknowledge Javonte Williams stinks and is not a guy I'm interested in and managed where hitting home runs matters at all. Gretsch actually wrote a great piece about this in Stealing Signals. I think this was like 2 weeks ago about, how redraft is best ball is making you worse at redraft. And I thought some of the points were interesting and it's definitely worth a read, but I thought the thing that was most interesting, and it's something that has been percolating in my brain for a long time. And as always, because Gretsch puts so many words down, he finds the right way to get the right words, which is you can win a lot in best ball hitting a ton of singles or drawing walks. If you're drawing walks in redraft, you're just dead. Like drawing, like it doesn't matter. Home runs are really the only thing that matters. But in best ball, you kind of need to hit a bunch of singles.
Well, like on drafters, I just think that we've gotten way too advanced rate pilled. If we're like, so I understand that for a while, like I was drafting some of these guys too. Like for a while, everyone got like super running back dead zone pilled, and so all of these like very obvious dead zone profiles that used to go in round 3 were falling into like the late 5th and the early 6th, and it changes the equation. And I get why you can't just be like blinders on archetypal drafting. But Javonte is like the most dead zone profile
of all time
in like history.
Yeah.
And now he's going right back at the range where these profiles used to always be terrible picks. Like, why are we not reorienting ourselves back to around and being like, no, actually, I don't want to do this.
I have an answer. I have an answer for
right,
you
after
we make this pick. Can I nominate Harvey here?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Because I don't really, the difference between QJ, Reed, Godwin, Downs, Worthy is like nil to me. And I think when you take
veto QJ, but I'm fine with any of these other names.
QJ is probably, I have QJ ranked 22 spots after ADP, so it's not like I'm sorted by ADP here. But yeah, I mean Downs. Spoiler alert for the mini-sode.
Any of Reed, Addison, Godwin, and Downs are completely fine by me.
I'm trying to think structurally. So we have Burrow, so we can skip kind of this next little quarterback window. I think when I take Daniels, May, Caleb Williams, Hurts, I generally pass on this quarterback window. So Downs gives us a late quarterback. Godwin gives us a late quarterback. Addison's quarterback is still kind of in that window. I will do whatever you want here, Mr. Sanderson.
It really doesn't matter to me. I think like Downs is my highest ranked, but I'm totally fine with Godwin too.
Send it. All right. So we have Burrow, James Cook, Jadarian Price, RJ Harvey, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, and Josh Downs. So let me answer your point about why these dead zone why as a Slappy drafter who has never liked this and famously got absolutely wrecked in 2024, fading these profiles, why I've changed my mind. And it actually
a very different price.
Very different price. It's actually not anything about like capitulating to the woke mob about how points are generated on a fantasy football team. To me, it's actually more about how like the actual game of football is being played on the field, where there are fewer players who are on the field generating targets. Teams are playing full. Something that's been really funny. Everyone's talking about 12 and 13. Teams are also playing more 21. Like fullbacks are playing more than ever. They're just going in these heavier formations. There are fewer kind of fantasy viable, like the wide receiver twos are worse than ever. Like we're talking like 1990s level of scoring for wide receiver twos. Like a guy like Downs. We both like Josh Downs. It's totally in the range of outcomes that Josh Downs has a good real football season and scores 9.8 points per game or something like that in half PPR. And what's happened is the relative value of Javonte Williams' 13.5 points has gone up. Even if I completely agree with you that there's no chance that he gets to 19 points per game, which I completely agree with, it's that the relative value of his points has increased.
I find that argument unconvincing because if anything, that makes me more interested in clicking the top tiers of wide receiver. Like if you're saying
yes,
wide receiver
so that yes, I completely agree with.
So like that makes me less interested in taking the running backs where the wide receiver talent level is high. Like that makes me not want to take a dead zone running back when Garrett Wilson and Jalen Waddle are on them. Because the other thing too, I mentioned this a lot last year, like when the dead zone running backs were falling, there's this compounding effect where if all the running backs are falling and the wide receivers are steaming up, it's like not only is this round 3 profile going in round 5 now, but they're going against like almost what the wide receivers used to be almost going in round 7 because the wide receivers are moving in the opposite direction. Okay, let's see here.
Probably Kyler or Gainwell or Rachaad White. I mean, we got to take Rachaad White, right? For the bit.
Well, let's just take not Kyler because we took Downs, right? So sure, I would take Rachaad White here with probably one of these. I would.
Yeah. You were gonna say one of these wide receivers?
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's a tight end or a quarterback that makes sense. I don't think if there's a quarterback because we don't have any stacks right now. None of the tight ends fell.
We'd have to take a third with Kyler, and Goff has a bye conflict.
Yeah, and Kyler, we didn't take Addison, so I don't. Oh, we have Jefferson. Never mind. So we should have taken Kyler then. I think.
I don't. I think either way there was fine. Honestly,
that's fine. We can do down Jones and Geno.
We can do Jones. We can do Cam Ward and Gunnar Helm because this is going to be a 3 tight end team. for sure. We could take Baker and do Jalen McMillan and Ted Hurst or Kate Otten or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think there's a tight end here, so I'd honestly probably take Pittman because then we have another late quarterback. Opens up.
Yep. All right, so that gives us Burrow, Cook, Price, Harvey, Rachaad White. I mean, I feel like I just had to honor my guess there. Jefferson, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Josh Downs, and Michael Pittman Jr. So I certainly agree with your point as it pertains to the top guys, to Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, JSN, St. Brown, Lamb, Jefferson. You could extend that argument to Drake London if you wanted. I don't know if I am fully there yet with him. Where I diverge with you would be about, I think it ultimately is probably a disagreement on likelihood of T. Higgins, Tet, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, all these guys reaching that level of scoring. Like, to me, I don't really think there's a universe where Garrett Wilson can score the same amount of fantasy points per game as Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. I think it's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's probably pretty unlikely. I also think it's pretty unlikely that Javonte is going to score as much as Jeanty and James Cook.
You would say it's certainly more likely, though, just based on touchdown luck. It's certainly more likely. I really hate that you're making me be the Javonte Williams guy here, because it's like a structural thing that I only do because basketball is kind of a funky game. But I guess I got to wear the badge.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I really just come back to, I feel like we often like spend a lot of our time over learning lessons that were in relation to one price point and not another. And I feel like we're actually just making the exact same mistake in reverse by being that we made when we were dogmatic about like, no, you never take a player like Javonte Williams, even if he's in the 7th round, now it's like, well, now we have to take these players like Javonte Williams, even if they're back in the 3rd round. Like it's like the inverse of when we were not taking Josh Jacobs in the 7th, but it's the same general philosophy, I think, of being like driven by.
Do you want to do Shuck rules here?
Yeah, because we can go with Jawan. We're going to need 3 tight ends.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
You know what, Jacob? That actually is, again, first time I've heard it phrased that way. I actually completely agree with it. It's the reverse slapsism has reached kind of an apotheosis in the sense of like, I can't imagine the running backs being priced more expensive next year. Like, I ultimately think probably the way the puck is going is we're going to see multiple teams skate away that we're not anticipating right now in terms of PROE and things like that. What do you think here? Do you want to just take dimes and be done with it?
That's not a bad idea.
Like this list of guys in the
I think
queue
I might
now,
go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd probably go Coker or Shaheed or Cooper, but I'm fine with dimes too.
Coker also gives us another bailout quarterback if dimes doesn't get all the way around.
Yeah, and then I'd love to we can double tap tight end potentially.
Double tap tight end
if Jones, because now what do we have? So we have 4 running backs. We're probably going to go 3, 5, 7, 3.
Yeah, 3, 5, 7, 3. I mean, here, let me pull up
feels like the direction we're going.
Yes,
we might be able to even get away with a 3, 6, 6, 3 if we really wanted to. But
I was going to say, in terms of historical advance rates, where we bought our quarterbacks with Burrow and Shuck, it's like totally break even in terms of what would be better.
Too.
Yeah, and then running backs. So it's very funny that because kind of what we're drafting is sort of an old school team right now, where like historically speaking, in terms of how teams have advanced in Best Ball Mania, we are like hitting all the perfect windows right now. In terms of, because the best advance rate stuff historically has always been late tight ends, because tight end is a position that is just fraught with the most hilarious misses of all time. Like I did this with, I don't remember who was on the other day. It might've been Neil. I don't remember who, but I was like, go look at who previous year's tight end 6s have been. And it'll be some of the funniest. It's be like, we took Jake Ferguson in round 6 one year. Do you remember Dalton Kincaid, tight end 4? Where were you when Dalton Kincaid was the tight end 4? Like we are so, as a society, we are so bad at drafting mid-round tight ends. And we're not particularly great at drafting late-round tight ends either in terms of accuracy, but one of them always hits. That's the Andrew Cooper stat. Is every year for the last 10 years, a tight end drafted outside the top 15 has finished in the top 5 in scoring.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you had to guess, who do you think is the best path this year? I don't know exactly where the 15 is. Like, I have no idea. But
do you want my truth answer or my I hope it happens answer? I can give you both of them.
Give me both.
I think the clear truth is Goddard, who is the tight end 15. I think it's just like he just luck boxes 8 touchdowns. Okay. Come on, man. That's uncalled for. Oh, it looks like Dimes is
Shock runs
here.
a little.
I mean, we could take Vele if we wanted.
Is there anyone that's going to take Downs behind us? Because I'd really like Downs, and I'd also really like Sadiq.
Everyone behind us has 2 quarterbacks, and let's take
Sadiq. And
I was going to say because we have Bryce Young as well. Yeah.
And Rodgers and Geno. Like, we have a lot of outs to our third quarterback.
The bags answer is Terrence Ferguson, where Terrence Ferguson kind of has what it would be? It would be the Gary Barnage season where he just like, you look at the box score and you're like, this dude had 11 touchdowns. I never remembered watching him play. How did this guy have 11 touchdowns?
I think it would need to be more like the Julius Thomas season where it's like the rare.
It's a way better comp.
Who's like somehow getting there despite 2 guys out of him, or it's just Devontae is completely cooked or something, or it's someone gets hurt. My answer would be
the Devontae being cooked. I mean, I probably buy that at this point that he is.
My answer, I think, would be Chig Okonkwo.
So I was going to say Chig would have been
clear second target on his team. Yeah, let's do Dimes here. It's a nice value.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you on Chig.
Like, and especially every time that Brandon Ayuk does something that's more preposterous and it looks less likely that he'll either be on the Commanders or will contribute meaningfully on the Commanders, then basically the only other spot you'd have to really dodge is Diggs. Because if they go into the season with this wide receiver room, or if they do sign Ayuk but he's not a factor, then basically Chig is pretty clearly the number 2 target, unless like Antonio Williams has an unexpectedly amazing rookie season. That would be a pretty amazing spot for Chig, who I don't think is amazing, but he has some actual juice.
I think he has juice, and this season right here that I've pulled up on everyone's screen, you've got both the 2013 and 2014 Julius Thomas seasons, where back-to-back years he scored 12 touchdowns on 90 and then 62 targets. I mean, if best ball existed in 2014, how tilted would you have been if you faded Julius Thomas on this season and you were just like, how does he keep getting away with it, dude? He got 60. He got
infuriating.
You would have been so mad. He scored more touchdowns than Demaryius Thomas on 184 targets. Incredible.
Pretty
incredible. Crazy. Yeah. That season right there, that is exactly what I'm hoping for out of Terrence Ferguson, where he's basically a part-time player, but generates the touchdowns. Gadsden is I wouldn't even say that somewhere where like that could be brought back to me. But Gadsden is like, Pete was doing that bit, like your heart of hearts bit. That's really my answer. Because I think Gadsden is good. Like, I think Ferguson's good.
Gadsden would be my second highest pick. I think the fear is just routes, but I do think that if he just looks like a stud and his routes increase, I think he's the best talent of these options.
I can't even tell you what these leg up guys are doing with Charlie Kolar, man. It's preposterous.
What's happening?
Well, I'll tell you.
What are the leg up guys doing with Charlie?
I'll tell you.
Charlie Kolar.
I'll tell you when we get to the end of the draft.
Enough.
I really like your guy Dylan Sampson. I've been like fully converted on him.
Yeah, I'm in on Sampson.
Or do you want to take the tight ends? Probably more important to not.
Yeah, let's take Jester Gooner first.
Yeah. Jester, because if we're getting down to the real muckety mucks, we're not going to love that. Yeah, I just I used your line in a video the other day. Actually, I was like, hey, that's the SEC Offensive Player of the Year that you guys are besmirching.
He goes off the board here.
Tough.
All right, let's see, Dulcich maybe. Just finish out
Dulcich.
tight ends.
I'm trying to see if there's a run. I don't think we care about any of these running backs. Yeah, take your pick on tight end.
I think I'd be Dulcich.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's how you draft a tight end room, boys. You have your rookie, your 10 RAS rookie. You have got your veteran who has been totally left for dead on his 7th NFL team. And you have your young guy who was a backup before and is going to be a starter now. I mean, that is the platonic ideal of a tight end room. When Socrates was drinking the hemlock and dying, he was like, "That's how you draft a tight end room, guys. You draft those 3 archetypes of players." But yes, the sidekick guys are drafting Kolar in round 20 on DraftKings because they have collectively decided that Aranda Gadsden is a figment of our imagination. I've been arguing about this with Sack like every day. We were trying to work out a bet yesterday, the odds that Kolar outscores Gadsden, and we're trying to figure out the exact terms for it. I was going to do with okay, so I was thinking if I'm wrong, I'll free roll Sack in a Mastiff next year, like a 1K draft. But then we were trying to think about what would be commiserate if I was going to give him like 20-1 odds. Then what would be commiserate on Sack's side to offer on the other side?
I'd probably take it at 20-1 odds.
You take Kolar?
Well, at 20-1.
At 20-1, yeah. So that was the thing is we were trying to price it.
Chance.
I don't know, man. Aranda Gadsden had more receiving yards in his first 5 NFL games than Kolar has in his 4-year NFL career. So I think 20-1 was.
I certainly would prefer Gadsden.
I'm a little hip to my guy Basshead here who says, what about Jolly in the 18th? Probably not in the 18th. I've taken Jolly a couple times on DraftKings, though, in the 20th round.
Yeah, I could see that more as a DK last round pick. I mean, I think it's interesting that in most rooms, Sean Payton's tight ends just don't get drafted. You got me on Evan Ingram. I've also taken Evan Ingram a couple times. Yeah, I've been drafting Ingram as a truly gross last round pick.
All right, what's your I think we got to take Jaden Blue since we spent the first 20 minutes of this talking about Javonte.
Please give me Jaden Blue.
Jaden Blue, don't look now. This is a classic thing that fantasy footballers do where they just write a guy off because he sucked as a rookie. They're at least saying the right things that you would want them to say about Jaden Blue. They're like, he's really matured. He's in the building. He's doing a blah, 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 all that stuff. So I do quite like that. All right. Round 18 wide receiver. We have a 3-5-6-3. Floor is yours.
I think it's probably a wide receiver. We're 3-5-6-3.
For sure, a wide receiver.
Geez, who the hell do we take?
Vele would be the stack.
God, but then you have to draft Vele.
Well, we timed out on Tyquan Thornton.
All right, that's honestly better than Vele.
Honestly, no one. I don't even blame anyone for this because I'm so the boys who cried wolf with 181-pound Kansas City Chiefs players. Tyquan in the 18th is. If you believe in Mahomes and Andy Reid and Eric BNME at all, this is going to be. He is going to play the role that he played last year, but instead of 25% of the routes, it's going to be like 60% of the routes because Juju is gone and Hollywood's gone, and they replaced them with a guy who, all credit to Jalen Royals, he ran a hell of an orbit route last year, but never got the ball. I believe he literally was not targeted. And Cyrus Allen, an undrafted free agent. That's it. That's all they've got.
I should actually be more into Thornton because I am like a little scared of getting mogged by Mahomes, but I'm just so skeptical of both Rice and Worthy. Although even I take every year I hate Worthy, and then I end up with an overweight position on Worthy.
He's
the most annoying player in the league. I've never liked him for a fucking second, and I have surely never been underweight on him in any capacity. Through a combination of drafting co-managed teams with people who like him, and then just being like, look, I don't like this guy, but he seems to have a lot of upside at this price. It's always aggravating. Anyway, given my skepticism on those two, but fear that maybe Mahomes will just persist, maybe Tyquan having a shockingly effective 680 yards and 5 touchdowns is like part of that process. So I'm pretty open-minded to him. He's a starting wide receiver on potentially one of the best passing offenses in the league.
Even if, you know what, even if you're a hater, like let's say you even take the approach of a hater, right? Of like Mahomes sucks, it's over, Chiefs dynasty, yada, yada. You're still talking about an offense that projects for 4,100 passing yards and 27 passing touchdowns. And this guy is undrafted. Like, what percentage of drafts do we think Tyquan Thornton is getting drafted in? I'm going to guess Tyquan Thornton. I'm going to guess he goes less than 1% of total teams. And I think it's going to be higher than that for me, but I'm going to guess it's about 1%. And he carries the mojo of he's been on a winning team. I mean, the same kind of sauce that keeps Mike Gesicki getting 1.2% of drafts will have him drafted. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, how did we do? Joe Burrow, Tyler Shuck, Daniel Dimes, James Cook, Jadarian Price, RJ Harvey, Rachaad White, Jaden Blue, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr., Jalen Coker, Tyquan, Sadiq, Helm, and Dulcich. I mean, we took an avenue that you do not take often. We took Justin Jefferson over Jeanty. How do you think that turned out?
I think it turned out okay. I mean, it's going to depend on. I think this team is going to depend a lot on really 3 running backs who have a very wide range of outcomes in Price and Harvey and Rachaad White. Like any of the 3 of those, I feel like have within their range of outcomes being a like every week starter that you're getting a nice value on, and have within their range of outcomes being like a sub 50% portion of a timeshare. So ideally one of them gets off to a really fast start, and at least maybe one of those younger guys can end up in a really favorable roll down the stretch run. And if that's the case, then I think we have a pretty high upside but highly volatile running back room. I think the rest of the team is pretty locked in and solid. So I think it's just going to come down to those 3 backs.
I mean, is that a trade-off that you are comfortable with? Because it feels like what a lot of people are doing in best ball this year is they're saying, I am not comfortable with that trade-off. I am not comfortable with half of my teams being reliant on RJ Harvey and Rachaad White breaking out to give me weekly scores. Because, I mean, how many of those spots recently have gone the way of the breakout? Like, it feels like those kind of like tertiary, I could see if the season breaks the right way for Rachaad. Like, I guess Jalen Warren kind of did it last year. Like, he was useful, but it feels like a lot of our,
I mean, Javonte did it last year. ETN
but Javonte was just a mispricing, right? Javonte was just, we were just wrong. I'm more thinking of like historically, like kind of like your Nyheim Hineses, your Shane Vereen's, like guys like that who just like, this guy will kind of get me through. It feels like the get me through running backs have very much not gotten anyone through anything like the most recent 2 years.
Well, but when you say it's a mispricing, like I think that the bet on someone like Rachaad White is that right now the market is kind of looking at that backfield and shrugging their shoulders, and they don't know what's going to happen. And that's kind of what they're doing with like Jacksonville last year and Dallas last year. Sure. And the hope is that, if not week 1, by week 4, it's like, Rachaad White's just getting a 68% snap share every week, and he's an RB2, and you can just plug that in. And then you look back on it and go, well, he was clearly mispriced. I mean, and it's like, I obviously am high on him, but there's going to be a level of ambiguity. I mean, that's why I prefer targeting. It's why I would prefer targeting running backs like Harvey and like White, where I think there is a distinct possibility that even without any injuries, either immediately or at least partway through the season, we look back and we're like, this person had a very different role than what his price entailed. I don't see that possibility for a back like a Corum or a Monangai. Like, to me, his paths are either like the get me through path, or it's Swift got hurt, Kyron got hurt, and obviously they're big wins in those scenarios. But like when I look at those prices in round 8, I'm like, yeah, I know that Corum and Monangai are going to give me more in a timeshare role than like Tank Bigsby is, but I just can't really get behind the logic of this pick is probably only a legitimate win if there's an injury, when I can just I can just make that pure bet later way cheaper. And I just don't know that the extra 7-8 points per game in base is like really doing a whole lot for me.
Right.
And I guess the difference is on this team, like because our RB2 is Price, like there's a wide range of outcomes to him, and we're pretty dependent on him becoming a legitimate starter right away. Like this is not that far off what like my literal dream running back room would be, which is like if we go Jeanty, Cook, and my RB3 and 4 are Harvey and White, like that's probably like if I could pick my dream draft, if I was available when you do that on ship chasing, like literally my running back room would have been, well, I wouldn't even put Cook there because I'm not Pat Kerrane and I don't project half round ADP falls.
Yeah, that was crazy of him. That was crazy.
Egregious.
Yeah.
So like my literal dream running back room, I'm almost certain because I kind of plotted it out just for fun, would have been Jeanty round 1, Barkley round 2, Harvey round 8, and White round 10 or whatever it was, 9. I don't know. Anyways, so that literally could be that. Like I couldn't ask for a better running back room there. But part of that is like Harvey feels so much more comfortable to me when I have 2 running backs I like mega trust to just be grinding out 15 plus points per game week 1 and week 2. Now you could make the case that that's why we should take like Javonte Williams. But like it's nice to have Harvey as a piece where maybe the role isn't very nice early on, but I'm not really counting on a score anyway. And then he could be a piece that comes along down the stretch and gives me an extra separator as a third running back, gives me that extra out in the playoff weeks of, this week's Ashton Jeanty only had 12 points. But I had Harvey, who would become this late breakout option, and he gets me 21, and then that gets me through, and I get an under-owned round 1 pick through. Like that's kind of how I'm envisioning things going with a Harvey or a White. Whereas here, I do think we need one of those 3 backs to hit the ground running in a big way. But Price obviously has a pretty open possibility at doing that.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, in fact, I would say I am much more confident than you and Kerrane that is going to happen. This can't be true. Please tell me this is not true. Well, not that it's actually really that bad for me. Do we think
is that actually true?
What do you think the odds are that this is true?
I mean, I think I would see it if it was true.
I'm going Underdog NFL. You're gonna get banned. Like if it's not true.
I have a lot of like Twitter notifications.
No,
like,
come on, dude. Come on. You're getting timed out. That's a timeout. That's a timeout on trying to bait me on Deebo Samuel and the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Well, okay. So,
God, that would have been unreal for me. I have so much Deebo, and I have like no Rice at all, and like I'm underweight worthy. So, like, if I could get Deebo to the Chiefs, would that ever be lovely for me?
I mean, it would be. Frankly, I don't even really think it would be that bad for me. I mean, it would be really bad for Worthy, but like Worthy is like. That's not going to kill me. Like if Worthy's a 0, like whatever, it is what it is. I have plenty of teams left to draft. I am wondering if one of the things, Jacob, that we are going to look at the end of the year is, man, we were really scared of 2nd round pick RJ Harvey, who scored 12 touchdowns the year before. Why were we really scared? Because they drafted a running back in the 4th round. Like why? Maybe that is a bit silly. Like. There's kind of this idea that Harvey was so bad, and I mean, he wasn't like the best running back in the world, but these are pretty good game logs for a guy who's available in round 8, and the trade-off is Jaleel McLaughlin got swapped out for Jonah Coleman.
Well, he was really good in some ways, and he was deficient in others. Like he was legitimately, I guess this is why I've been so in on him. Is there's like the mega Harvey Bears. I feel like are not granting the fact that he was an extraordinarily effective and efficient receiving back last year and is easily their most explosive running back on the team, and that he has a built-in role that he performed really well at in his rookie year and has always been a role that's existed in the Sean Payton offense and will just like very obviously be a role this year. So when he was going in round 5 and 6, I was like, man, that's tough because if all he does is run back that satellite role, that's a massive L there. But like going now in round 8, like I just don't understand really. Like it feels like some of these running back ADPs are like purely based on vibes because like if you just run back the role that he excelled in last year,
Mm-hmm.
how could anyone actually tell me that like they think RJ Harvey is going to get outscored by Kyle Monangai and Blake Corum
Yep.
and Kenny Gainwell? Like it's like
Yep.
that's just like what are we doing here? So he's like at worst like a small loss. I feel like, you know, barring injury, obviously, because you look at the running backs going around him, and it's all guys that we project to be in the lower half of a timeshare. So this is, again, kind of what I was saying with Javonte. It's like it feels like there's certain narratives on guys, and it feels like there's a group of people that decided in February that they were going to fade RJ Harvey, which
Right.
like was, I think, a pretty reasonable and correct thing to do at his ADP at that time, which was round 5. I was doing it. I wasn't drafting any of him at that point. But then like they were like, yeah, I'm fading RJ Harvey because, you know, I don't think he's going to be the lead back. He's a satellite back. And then it's like now you wake up in June 25th and he's going in an ADP range entirely surrounded by satellite backs. And it's like, do you really not think he has more upside as a year 2 back to like just clearly ascend over like old ass injury prone J.K. Dobbins and a 4th round rookie than Kenny Gainwell does to usurp Rachaad White, or Blake Corum does to usurp Kyron Williams, or Kyle Monangai does to usurp DeAndre Swift? Like it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. So I think he's now like a pretty small miss, big hit profile going in that range. That's really exciting. I agree with the Harvey Bears that like, yeah, Denver's plan this year. Yeah, like I'm gonna get sucked into the vortex here. Crumb games. There's no way Gainwell gets fewer points. It's fewer, not less. So fewer points than Harvey, outside of injury.
Yeah, you are getting sucked in the vortex because that's
like
that's
I just
insane.
like I would love like I mean sure like no way is kind of a crazy comment. Like is it conceivable that Gainwell gets more? Like sure, obviously it's conceivable, but like if you're just projecting out their base case role, I don't see how they don't look very similar. Like you're talking about
Right.
2 running backs that are going to get a bunch of receiving work and a timeshare amount of the rushing work. So like broadly speaking, they seem like they'll be at worst pretty similar. And I guess I would bet on Harvey usurping the Denver backs as a more likely outcome than Gainwell usurping Bucky entirely. Anyway, my point being, before I got sucked into the Gainwell vortex, is just when he was going round 5, the point of, hey, I don't think Denver views him as their lead back was like pretty darn salient. It's still salient. I think it's correct. I don't think they view him that way. I think their plan is to run back Dobbins and use Corum on some short yardage carries and long down and distance pass blocking work. But like when you're betting on Harvey, you're betting on a second-year player with a pretty interesting prospect profile that has a chance of just showing up and being way better than he was last year or better than Denver expects him to be. And then the plan changes. We see plans change for teams all the time.
All the time.
And I'm sure Denver would be really happy if their plan got changed by RJ Harvey being awesome. But it's not, like obviously Denver would have been crazy, in my opinion, with their stacked roster and Super Bowl aspirations to be like, we're going to just depend on RJ Harvey showing up and being way better. Like why would they not re-sign J.K. Dobbins to give themselves more options? So, yeah, I think Harvey is pretty well priced in this range. Is I guess what I'm trying to say in the longest meandering way possible.
Yeah, no, I have started to drift. I've started to drift your direction, where I was my immediate reaction was, man, Harvey. I don't know. They bring in Coleman. He wasn't all that great. Blah blah blah. And then I'm like, hey, man, maybe just zoom out on the chart a little bit. You were pretty excited about this guy to the point that you were drafting him at the 4-5 turn last year. He rewarded that decision with 12 touchdowns. The competition was the same competition he had last year, and at the very minimum, even with Dobbins, he did have a role in that backfield while giving, like, I mean, how many? I bet I'm going to look this up. I don't even know, but I bet Jaleel played like an absurd amount of snaps per game last year. Like I bet when we looked,
he played barely any snaps until
it was
Dobbins
estimate.
went down.
It was estimate.
No, it wasn't estimate. It was never estimate. He wasn't even on the team. It was Bidet played.
Tyler Bate. Sorry.
Bidet played long down and distance early in the year.
Look at this dude.
And actually, the whole year.
18, 22, 10, 24, 25. Yeah. Like eating up a good chunk of the snaps. Those can very easily be Jonah Coleman snaps.
Those will be Coleman snaps.
Yeah, those can very easily be Coleman snaps and not really take anything off the table for RJ Harvey. So I'm with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting year.
Yeah. All right, Jacob. What the Slapsis is now out. What is next on thinking about thinking?
Ooh, good question. So this is one of those where I've not finished the research on it yet, and so sometimes I do these research projects and I find something interesting and it becomes an article, and sometimes I just don't, so that it doesn't become an article. But I'm hopeful to have an article coming out on crowded wide receiver rooms. There's been a lot of great research on ambiguous running back rooms that JJ has done and other people have done, and I'm specifically interested this year in Chicago and Jacksonville, and just some of these receiver rooms where there's a number of wide receivers that are being drafted in pretty close, or wide receivers and tight ends being drafted in pretty close proximity to one another. And I'm curious to see if there's any lessons about whether these are receiver rooms that we should be targeting aggressively or not as a whole, or if there's specifics to the types of profiles that tend to do better than others, either based on where they're drafted or certain characteristics. So I have no idea what that's going to turn out yet. We'll see, but that's kind of what I'm working on for the rest of this week.
All right, there we go. Everyone, check out Thinking About Thinking, and Jacob is going to head out of here as I bring in another Canadian. How about that? That? Two guys who were really, really, really rooting on the Canadian men's national team yesterday against Switzerland, only to ultimately be disappointed. Although things worked out in the end, getting the matchup against South Africa.
That was big. I was sure it was South Korea. I was telling everybody who doesn't follow it as much as I do that it was going to be South Korea. And then, the South Africans, man. Good for them.
South Africans.
It should be a good game. It should be good.
Yeah. I was just sitting there begging and pleading for Lee Kang-in to do anything, and he decided that he was not going to.
He didn't feel like
South Africa. No, he really didn't. All right, man. We are drafting in Best Ball Mania. We are drafting out of the 7th slot here, and I guess that'll be a nice start for us because we should be able to get a running back. We started our last draft with Justin Jefferson, and Jacob spent the rest of the time being like, fuck, man, I can't believe we just started with a wide receiver. I don't want to take Javonte Williams.
Well, I'm on the opposite side of that. I don't mind getting one of the wide receivers here. I'm actually I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do here. I don't think it's inherently super smart to do a full fade of anybody in the first round, but I haven't felt so strongly about wanting to do that in any year than I do about Jonathan Taylor this year.
I mean, Jacob is a Colts fan and he does not take Jonathan Taylor.
I think I have, look, let me find it. Let me get you the exact number for me here. I
have 7.5% but that's because I'm a coward who when everyone looks me up on the Best Ball Palantir site, I don't want to have the worst teams.
Look, I think that let me find this. So 128 drafts. I've taken Jonathan Taylor once.
Wow. All right. So you're standing 10 toes down.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think that at 6.8, it's hard for him to be such a big hit that I'm going to really, really regret this. Like, I would take Amon-Ra here if you want to do the running back.
Hey, no.
Okay.
Right. Hey, you're a guest. You're a guest in my house, Sammy. I'm happy. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. So I think that at an ADP of 6.8, it will be very difficult. He would have to get close to repeating what he did last year for me to seriously regret this. Just because I think that provided the guys around him like the Amon-Ra, the Jefferson, the McCaffrey also have good years, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm missing out as much as, a guy in the 6th who I know you've talked about the capitulation on Parker Washington that you're doing. I saw your tweet about that.
Yeah, dude, I can't. I just Because Parker Washington is such a lightning rod player, and I feel like if I miss that one, I'm like, okay, dude, everyone in the world is going to call you the dumbest dipshit for missing that one. I still think he's like obviously a terrible pick, but sometimes you just don't want to be the town idiot, Sammy. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, and I think that volume has to do with it as well. Like, it's a much bigger stance when you're investing.
Wow, Dipperino on Achane here.
I like that. Yeah,
yeah. That is, dude. That's got to be super rare,
dude.
That's got to be.
Okay.
That's got to be like.
I tweeted this out. I got Amon-Ra Cook in a puppy too.
0.7% of drafts feature Amon-Ra St. Brown and Devin Achane. I only have that twice on 711 teams. That's really nice. I love that. Really nice. That's my new favorite feature of the tool is the ability to just immediately look at your combos and be like, wow, dude, look how sick my team is.
It is. Yeah. Seeing that like 0.03%. It's no, I think that Achane has some runway here to just win off of volume.
Dude, I mean, I've been saying this. Because I'm looking for reasons to continue pumping my Malik Willis bags.
I'm with you.
If we can just get the 22nd best offense out of the Dolphins, I mean, there's like no chance that happens. I would say they're like probably minus 200 to be the worst. Like they're going to be worse than the Browns. They're going to be worse than the Cardinals. They're going to be really, really bad. If they're not, it's going to be wheels up.
I think that like look, the weapons, of course, on the whole of them versus the Cardinals versus the Browns, they're obviously bottom, right? But in terms of the degree at which Malik Willis could outperform the quarterbacks on those other teams, if like it rolls right for him, then I don't think there's any ceiling to this offense at all, honestly. Like I just don't think that Malik Willis, Devon Achane can do enough. But I do think, I don't know if I'd say that it's like they'd probably be minus odds to be bottom 5. I don't know if they'd be minus odds to be the worst though. And I think that you're right. Like as long as they're not bottom 3, honestly, I do think that Malik Willis specifically can pay off his ADP.
Malik Willis, I think, can pay off his ADP even if they're literally the worst offense in football. I really agree. Believe that.
It's really if he gets benched or not.
Yeah.
I might pull up Zay or T here.
That's you must consume a lot of best ball content because that's the new cool kids move. Cool kids move is, dude, Zay Flowers, more 11 personnel, new offensive coordinator. I mean, this is like, I feel like every time I do a show with Corain, who is like the coolest kid, he is just always talking to me about Zay Flowers and Elijah Surratt. And I'm like, man, I cannot get there on Surratt. Although I did pull Surratt up in my rookie rankings. I just did a new video on my Dynasty channel. And I was like, okay, you need to be reasonable on Surratt. I think I literally had him in the 30s or something in my rookie ranks. And I was like, okay, that's too far, bro. I still have Jacoby Lane ahead though.
In this class, I think that, anything beyond 15 is, you can argue it. And I don't think if anybody gets mad at you, I think that they're just like thinking too much just because
Delp,
it's so
Raridan.
Yeah, exactly. Like put them wherever you want. Like really, it's so the class was so terrible beyond like the top like 13, honestly, that it's really whatever. I really like Surratt. I like the profile. I like the fit. But with Zay, honestly, like it's more just that I think the Lamar value is so incredible that I'm taking him in the 3rd.
Is falling. Lamar Jackson, I just like right before my stream, I shipped a bunch of slow puppy picks and I just took like 5 consecutive Lamar Jackson in the 6th. I'm like, you guys are taking Jordan Tyson over Lamar, bro. Get real. I actually think Jacobs is probably the pick here.
I don't mind him or either Bear is what I would go here.
Let's do Jacobs. My Jacobs bags are light, and what I have failed to consider is that nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens.
Usual, right? Isn't that what Matt LaFleur said?
Yeah. And something that is unreported that we really haven't talked about is Rap Sheet had this yesterday. NFL's not suspending Rashi. They said like they're like, yeah, this was part of his extrajudicial thing. This is not falling into the league purview, which I feel like is crazy because before all of it, he was going ahead of London. Maybe that was just in my rooms. Maybe that was just when I was there. But I feel like he was like I think clear second round pick.
Pre-draft, the ADP was like he was like the first guy after the running back wave.
I think I can look on the site now, right?
Will it show you pre-draft ADP?
Yeah, it's all the way back to January 25th.
There you go. So he was
look, he was that was the dip, and then he got. Well, I guess it's been varied. It's been right about there. It's been right about pick 26. Okay, so okay. I'm wrong.
Maybe I was just taking him in the late second.
I think that's what's happening. I think that was
Zach in the chat saying he was going at 17.7.
There you go.
Yeah, he was. I do recall he was like right next to London. Yeah, no, I'm taking a ton of rice at the beginning of the third round right now.
Yeah. Cody would definitely be in on Coke Zero. Cody knows all about fake sugar bullshit. Cody is totally with me.
I mean, it is so not. Stuff. It's honestly now it's like it's boomer to not be in on it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's learned. We're all smarter than we were.
This guy is gonna freaking auto draft Jameson Williams and steal.
Don't do
it. Gotta do it. Got to do it. Double stack, bro.
Check
I was going to say, I bet there's like none of that out there. I'm going to guess that's also sub 1%. Yeah. Oh, I only have that once. I only have that one time. Wow.
I mean, that's got to be rare, right? Because it's complete opposite sides of the board, of course.
That's 0.4% of drafts, which means that I
don't have one.
Yeah. I always make an ass of myself when I do this. It's like, cause it's 0.4% of drafts, which means 0.4, like the largest number for all is 8.3%.
It's not 0.4 of Amon-Ra drafts. It's 0.4
we actually need to have Joe fix that. We need to have him do the math to 100.
I don't know what that would, it needs to be like you set a first anchor and then it's like, okay, now the pool is all Amon-Ra drafts. And then you put a second guy. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
I'll talk to him.
We also need next time you talk to Joe, we need the overlay that he's got set up for ESPN, CBS, yacht, like he has this. We need this for the FFPC.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need that. And it would be nice if
it should be easy. It's all public, right? Like everything's public.
Yes, yeah. I posted it in like a really small thread in like
in the Discord.
The Flock Discord. There's a lot going on in there. So he probably didn't. He probably didn't see it.
Organization isn't our thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, this team does not need Parker Washington. We are good.
No.
We do not need P Wash here. And in fact, this guy has a chance to ruin our day by taking Jordan Tyson. Wow, he didn't. Gosh. He took Marv.
This is nice, Davis. This is
all right.
Really,
we are
don't drop
we
the
are
baby.
now in don't drop the baby territory on this team. I mean, come on, dude. A minus for this, dude. I couldn't draft a better team than this.
It's because who did we take? We took Zay a pick ahead of ADP.
Yeah.
We took Amon-Ra a pick ahead of ADP.
Yeah. All right. We need to fix these penalties, Joe. Got a small adjustment.
Well, no, Davis. It doesn't update until after the round's done, so it's not accounting for Jordan Tyson yet.
I mean, we got a little marginal benefit there on Jordan Tyson. You know what he needs to build in next. Once we get probably in July, he can build this in, but start counting versus closing line ADP. So you can go back and look at your draft. So you can be like, oh, maybe I drafted this team in May that graded poorly at the time. You can sort by it in the page now, but it doesn't change the grade.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah. But you can find your teams that have the greatest amount of CLV on the website. But it doesn't you can't go back. You can't retroactively get an S tier just because you were drafting Rashee Rice in the 4th round and now he's a 2nd round pick.
Got you. Do you think Jacobs is a guy that like I feel like it's going to be potentially like, because the closer you get to the season, the less likely he is to be suspended because there's less time, right? Do you think we see a slow rise? Because look, Jacobs, I got killed. He was a profile that I loved at the 2-3 turn. Like I was really excited about him.
Yeah.
And then I just got killed with the, completely unknowable.
He will be. It's not going to be a slow rise. It's going to be instant because it'll be. He's not going to be suspended, I think.
Okay, sure.
Right. I think that ultimately is Rap Sheet or Schefter will say actually there's not going to be any disciplinary yada yada whatever for Josh Jacobs, and then he'll just be good to go. It's actually a good thing we took Jacobs too instead of one of the wide receivers because the wide receivers are getting spent here.
Oh my gosh, you want to take Makai here? Like,
got it, have to,
have
to, because we have got Goff locked in as one of our quarterbacks, and we have Shuck late, so it doesn't matter that Hurts is already gone. Makai Lemon in the middle of the 7th round after QJ is crazy.
Dude. You know what? You were talking about the taking Lamar over and over again. Today this happened to me. I woke up. I had maybe 15, 18 drafts in the middle there. I had 3 drafts in a row where I'm picking at 72 out of the 1 slot, and I took Hurts Lemon 3 times in a row.
Why? I mean, I would say I would just
that's so free is insane.
I would just that is an easy I would take that on I don't know whatever 10% of my teams or something. It's just such a good combo. I believe right now if you go to the site it can. I believe you can re-rank your teams versus updated average draft position. I believe I would need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure you can.
The problem is that it's hard to read because we have the slot you took them. Right? 102, 502, 902. And then next to that is the ADP number. And I can't do the conversion instantly. So it's I don't know exactly.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, these are pretty easy things for him to fix or add. So we can do that. Yeah. Cause it's got your ADP score, but what he would need to do is he would need to do the ADP versus what it was then captured at the time, and then what it is now, which would be super easy.
I'm just going to send him a link to the stream, with the timestamp.
Yeah. Feels like a quarterback probably.
Yeah, I don't mind T-Law or Mahomes.
Let's do Mahomes because we can take Kelsey after we take Goff.
Now, Davis, I do consume a lot of best ball content. I know about specifically you and Pat's affinity. I'm fine with the Mahomes price. My reason of not, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. The increase in production last year was completely and pretty much only
all
based
running
on rushing, right?
5.5 fantasy points per game, I think.
Rushing and rushing touchdowns. All increased a ton based on the 2 previous seasons, which were really bad, really below average to what we become accustomed with Mahomes. So, being, however much you have of him, 20% or whatever, is that thinking that the ACL tear isn't going to affect the rushing, or is it BNME in the passing offense?
No. The ACL is going to affect his rushing, particularly early in the season. I would expect his rushing production, if Underdog posts his week 1 line as 4.5 rush attempts, 18.5 rushing yards, that's going to be a lower spot, I think. What I do expect, and if I'm wrong about this, it is what it is. I'll take it with the other infinite L's I'm going to take this year. But I think that Andy Reid brought BNME back because when BNME is in the building, he's someone that everyone listens to. And I think when Reid is with one of these guys who's part of his tree, which Nagy certainly is, they fired the wide receiver coach and the running back coach too, by the way. It's a total reorganization under Andy Reid. I think Andy is smart enough and self-aware enough to be like, hey man, I did a pretty bad job last year. I just didn't really have ideas. We just ran fucking mesh every play, and then no one was open, and then Mahomes had to scramble, and it just was not working. And so I think they brought BNME back because he can challenge people. He could be like, hey man, you guys are not doing your, there was that great clip from the first day of OTAs where Walker and Mahomes messed up the first drill, and he literally He yelled at them and took Mahomes off the field. How big do your balls have to be to take Mahomes off the field? I mean, it's certainly not something Nagy would have done.
Yeah.
I think we got to take Goff here because it would just be too tilting to miss him.
100%.
There's probably an argument that many best ball players would push Jared Goff there and just be like, "Hey man, I gotta make the super team." But I think it would be too annoying to miss him.
I think especially when you've gotten this much ADP value. Look, I get that argument, and this was something that like I remember Mason saying a bunch last offseason when Chase and T. Higgins were both going on the same side of the board, and Burrow's ADP was on the other side because everybody was either taking him in like the 5th or trying to get him to come back to them in the 6th. I think in that scenario, pushing it makes sense when it's like that specific structure. Here, when it's like, you're just risking somebody taking him unstacked, which I think people are doing a lot more now, whether it's the Sims or, whatever it is, the quarterbacks being so squished together, people just thinking that they got to get one. I don't see the point in risking it.
I mean, for this specific team, maybe it would have made sense because we are pretty thin at running back. I mean, we only have Achane and Jakob, so maybe taking Aaron Jones or whatever. But maybe we even get Jonathan Brooks. The way the Flock tool calculates the combination percentage is it grabs, so that we import our tool and it grabs draft boards that are imported into the site, and then it creates an estimate based off of the draft boards that are imported into our database. So it's not the exact number, and it doesn't have every draft board, but it's just the draft boards.
Which is why it says expect. It's a prediction in a sense.
Wow, we got Jonathan Brooks.
I'm not a big Jonathan Brooks guy, but at 114, it's
okay, that should help our grade. Yeah, there we go. We're cooking with gas now. How does that story translate to Mahomes being a value if his rushing disappears?
He's yelling at him. What do you mean?
I don't know. It's a guy who's like, I think he averages 4,400 passing yards and 33 passing touchdowns per season for his career.
My concern is like I do think, when did BNME leave? Was it 2023? Before 2023?
Before 2022, right?
So Mahomes had one final crazy year before BNME left, or after BNME left.
BNME's last season. No, okay, yeah, So he's not had a crazy season without BNME because he left in 2022. 2023 and 2024 and 2025 were big grinded out years.
I think that's fair, and I think that my worry is like Tyreek left, right? Tyreek left before 2022, right?
Yes. Yeah, he had one one mega year with just Kelsey. The 2023 season was his 1 year.
It certainly is possible that we see that crazy. And maybe I'll try to get closer to slightly above market.
He had 4,100 passing yards and 27 passing touchdowns, 7 YPA without Tyreek in 2023 in 16 games.
Yeah, because if you look at the averages, if you switch from totals to averages there, super quick. Oh, I guess we can make.
Hold on, we got to pick.
Yeah. I mean,
it's probably Jordan Mason. Kelsey just went.
That's annoying.
Or Tracy or Keaton, really any of them.
I would go Mason there.
Yeah, fine with me.
And then I wouldn't mind. I mean, a lot of these teams on the turn took a lot of quarterbacks. I wouldn't mind getting Malik.
Getting another.
If he's there. The average is there in 23 and 24. That's where he's being drafted.
Yeah. Yes. Right? Yeah, he's being drafted as the quarterback 11, literally.
Yeah, so if it's sort of like the rushing goes back down and the passing stays where it was, then, is Rice worthy Kelsey enough? With the enemy coming back in, there's a lot of factors here.
7.1 passing YPA is fine. That's so fine in this version of the NFL where he's going. If Mahomes was being drafted in the 60s, I would not be taking him. Mm-hmm. I would be passing on that.
I do think that I think that an upside exists there, obviously much higher than a Bo Nix or a Jared Goff, who go right after him, which is I think where that where that discrepancy is.
Yeah, we guess we could take. I mean, Malik Willis would be a fine third quarterback here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he just went.
Okay.
I mean, Stroud has back stacks. Dimes doesn't really have back stacks. I mean, could we wait for? We could do Rodgers later. I mean, positionally, we don't. Do you want to just take Stroud?
Yeah, I don't mind the Stroud back stacks.
Yeah, 3, 5, 7, 3. Yeah, let's do Stroud, and maybe if Marks comes around, we can take him. I like taking Tank Dell. I like taking Noel. I don't mind Dalton Schultz or anything like that.
Yeah, me neither. I think Dalton Schultz is perfectly fine where he goes. I'm a little spooked on Tank, but I don't take much Noel either. But I mean, Noel
like Noel probably gets. Noel does probably get package mugged by like Marlon Klein and Foster Moreau.
That's the thing,
all
man.
these guys.
These like, slot specific bets in the 18th round. Like there are just so many paths to zeros where there's guys that I think, at least like in most scenarios, he's on the field.
Yeah.
And they aren't impacted as much by the tight end usage. Because like who knows if it's going to work or not, but I can guarantee you that teams are going to try it. Like, they're not drafting these guys to not try. Whether it works or not,
the Marlon Klein and the Nate Boerter being second round picks, or however the fuck you say the Jags second round tight end. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I guess the NFL is really, really buying this stuff. Like the NFL really is just like, yeah, dude, we are loading up the heavy packages.
Well, hey man, like copycat league. I mean, Sean McVay doing it, and then everybody else does it. And like it's like the Dolphins too, like Will Kakmarek, like all these guys. It's wild. It really is wild.
Borkershire. He's a dog. Bassett, did you go to Texas A&M University? He probably is a dog. He probably is a dog. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that away.
It's
from
just
him.
like it's the arrogance, like this freaking James Gladstone on the Jags, the GM. He's like, did you see the clip from the draft room? He's like,
yes. He's like,
Liam,
let's
we're
shock
gonna shock
the world. Yeah. Oh, come on, dude.
Bro, you don't have to. That's
you really
not
don't.
A good thing. I
don't remember who I wanted them to take.
Take him in the fourth, where I mean, who knows? Somebody else probably would have taken him because they're all tight end crazy, right? But take him in the fourth round, and then you just don't have these issues.
All right. Do you want to take our first tight end here?
I like Chig here. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Chig here. I have big Chig Okonkwo bags. Man, how stress free is Peter living? He just let 6 people on his stream today.
So that I was like
draft. Like, hey, he didn't even have to draft.
The challenge, like this being a challenge, is pretty cool. Doing it live, you don't get to plan anything, all that kind of stuff, and Pete just gets a day off.
Have I thought about streaming from a tiny circle? It's funny. Mason literally has like made this point to me. He's like, that's you Mason has told me, like, you want the least amount on your screen as possible. You want the draft board to be as big as possible. You want the faces to be like not the point. So I've totally gone the other way from Pete.
I don't know. I think that in a lot of ways, and look, I don't think that on Best Ball Breakfast, like the circles aren't that big. Adam Levitan just went nuts about it.
No, at Levitan is a whiner. Yes, Levitan was.
He just went because he can't see the top guy on.
Well, Levitan's old. Levitan is speed running being an old man, so he's like, I can't make it out.
His face was literally blocking the top name on the ADP list. Like that is fair. But I think that. Yeah, I don't know. It's those little minute things where like you can never really tell if it's actually effective.
Yes.
Making yourself smaller.
Tesla for another Lion.
That's kind of fun.
Or one. I mean, this is kind of like the last tier running backs. Maybe
I like Bigsby.
Running backs.
I like Bigsby.
I like Bigsby a lot. Yeah, actually, let's skip this because we're probably gonna take Dalton Schultz next. So that makes sense. I think people just want consistency. Yeah, I think that ultimately, I think that is probably it. I think people just want, they just want to see the same thing. When I click a video, I want to know what I'm getting. Yeah, I mean Mason's green screen is really good. I have a green screen here. I could do it. I could be a floating head. But I've worked have worked so hard to get a reasonable background
Yeah.
that now I don't want to change it up.
Well, his is
like
funny
it's taken
because
me
like
forever.
he's taking a picture of the background, and when the stream opens and the draft board isn't there, he has the picture of the background as the green screen.
Oh, that's really funny. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So when like the stream starts, it's the picture of the background on the green screen, and then he's still the floating head, but you can't tell. And then when he goes into the draft, he's the floating head.
And he's doing this. He's doing this new wave where his live stream YouTube thumbnails are just like the stream itself. That's like the new thing, which I used to make fun of Liam about forever, and now Mason's doing it. So maybe Liam was early.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's weird because again, it's these minute things where like it's hard to tell what, like if you're getting a 2% gain on doing this this thing differently. But hey, I guess I think the aim is you immediately know exactly what it is. You don't even have to read the title. Right? As soon as you see it, bang, you know what it is, you click on it.
You know exactly what it is. Yeah. Which is...
But again, I think it's a new viewer thing, because if you watch Mason all the time, you know that he's going to stream every day. You know exactly what you're going to get.
Well, Mason's whole deal is that you're not going to grow your actual YouTube channel via live streaming, which doesn't exactly work for me. I gotta bring some new people into the fold every once in a while.
Oh my gosh, Schultz went.
Snapped on Schultz. Okay.
I mean, 10 pick value on Hawk here. I don't like him, but
hey,
we have Mason.
Why not?
He's kind of the same-ish because Schultz isn't good.
No, Schultz is not good.
He's not good. He's slow. He's getting old. I think it's the same thing, and I think that like a lot of this Minnesota offense, like literally everybody except for Jefferson, we're not saying, okay, what if Kyler's good? Like Jordan Addison is one of my highest exposures. I just don't see a world in which he doesn't outperform wide receiver 41 if he plays like 17 games. The running backs too. Like I recorded a dynasty video to come out tomorrow. And I talked about Jonathan Brooks there. The fact that Jonathan Brooks' ADP is above the entire Minnesota backfield to me just doesn't make any sense.
It just is a matter of, do you think there's any chance that someone new comes in? Or do you think, like, if you think it's kind of a gross split, maybe it does make sense. If you just think those guys kind of 50-50 it all year, then it does kind of make sense.
But if the offense is good, then I think that then
there's going to be surplus value.
Picks. Because I was really in on Jordan Mason last year because I was like, he could just be like the touchdown short yardage guy in what should be a good offense because it's Minnesota, and then the offense sucked.
Yeah. I believe Mason grew it. We should take Tank Dell.
Yeah, sure.
I believe Mason grew the channel via a combo of the things, but like far and away his biggest growth thing now is the videos. Like his videos. If you look at his
in season, he's like the in season. It doesn't like he's just far and away the guy.
What the live streams do. Not to take you guys behind the paywall too much, but what the live streams do is the live streams get people to go to Underdog. Yeah. Someone is like, okay, I like this guy's start sit video. Oh, he's live. I'll click on that. Oh, Underdog. What's that? Bada bing, bada boom. Promo code Flock.
And I think everybody watching the stream, like the diehards, right, that are consuming all the content, they can't conceive of somebody who hasn't heard of Underdog.
They have no clue.
They've never seen this before.
Yep.
And they were like, oh yeah, this guy helped me with my league last year. Let me see what he's doing in the summer.
Yep.
What is this? What are all these fancy colors on the screen?
Why is this guy have 3 quarterbacks on his team?
You took Josh Allen, buddy. You're starting Josh Allen every week. Why the hell did you take Malik Willis? What are you doing?
Yeah. These are things that are very far away from the concerns of my small business. That much I can tell you.
We need a tight end, right? And then
yes,
we don't have a Mahomes stack.
We don't, which is honestly to me kind of fine. It actually kind of prices out or kind of removes some of the concerns of like, well, what happens if Rice gets suspended? What happens if Worthy kind of stinks? What happens if they sign Keenan Allen? What happens if they trade for someone or whatever? Maybe Tank Dell gets cut from the Houston Texans. I did see one beat writer mention that like maybe Tank Dell, the team just decides he's past it. Could happen. I mean, it'd be very sad,
all the reports right now are that he's out there, right? Which like those two things don't fit to me.
Dude, I knew this was gonna happen. The free ride on Terrence Ferguson, it's done. It's over.
Well, maybe at least in the streamed drafts, it's over.
No, dude, I've been noticing this even happen in my slows. It's just like I get to the last round and it's automatic, and he's been gone. I've even considered taking Colby Parkinson a little bit just as like a pure hedge. Give me your favorite tight end here.
Eli. We got some Eagles.
Yeah.
He's the guy I'm drafting a lot of.
That was another one when I was doing my dynasty video today. I was like, in the context of this class, Stowers should probably be going higher. Like, I had him at 11. I've got him. I moved him down. I had him at 14, and then I moved him back up to 12 because I have Zachariah Branch ahead of him, and that could be laughably bad. I mean, that could end up being so wrong.
It could, yeah. Me personally, I just would lean into the historical hit rate and not put Branch above like the. Yeah, he's such a weird one though. Like he's so weird.
Yeah.
And then I want to ask you the perfect round 17 pick here. I'm thinking you could consider a Keenan Allen. I've taken him very solemnly, but I think with Patrick Mahomes
it's definitely Tyquan. It's Tyquan.
Tyquan, yeah, Tyquan's the other one, but then also Xavier Thomas, bring back.
I mean, Xavier Thomas, you never really got to talk me into Xavier Thomas. Tyquan,
we're so into the Bears.
I was gonna say, yeah, a bring back.
We're so into the Lions here. I think that
you know what, you're right. We need them to get pushed. We're gonna do Xavier Thomas. I mean, our wide receivers are very good anyway. St. Brown, Flowers, Jamal Tyson, and this is the team of what happens if Mahomes' ACL is fine.
Maybe he runs.
What if he's been on the same gray market Chinese peptides?
Yeah,
that's a conspiracy theory. I don't even think it's a theory anymore. I think if Daniel Jones, Mahomes, and Kittle and Neighbors, if all these guys are playing week 1, I don't even think it's a conspiracy theory. Why would your great aunt be on Retatrutide and not George Kittle? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not buying it.
It's also just letting yourself dream, you know. And don't we all just want to dream?
I do.
What is possible? And yeah. I really like this team. This is a
really good team.
This is really good.
Mahomes, Goff, Stroud, Devin Achane, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Brooks, Jordan Mason, Tank Bigsby, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Zay Flowers, Jameson Williams, Jordan Tyson, Makai Lemon, Tank Dell, Xavier Thomas, Chig Okonkwo, TJ Hawkinson, Eli Stowers.
You know, it's funny. Like I'm thinking like I end up with a lot of quarterbacks in like the, you know, if it's not Lamar, like the 6th and 7th turn. We just got so many falling values. Like Jordan Tyson in the middle there, which is where like I might have taken a quarterback. We had J-Mo fall, and so we didn't take Lamar.
I completely agree with you. I end up with about 6% of all of these guys. Caleb, way more of Caleb, but just like all these guys in that range. But when you get to me, it's the auto picks for me in the 6th round are when Tyson falls or when Price falls. Like Price at 64. Price at 64, I'll probably even skip a stack. Like I would skip like Hurts and Devonta Smith, I think.
I mean, I've seen Bucky fall there too, though. Like any of these guys, really, for me, that it's such a end of a tier that
100%. I think just in general, the way that I understand The Sims is that the answer to this is yes. That like the third quarterback just adds so much to you. I mean, look, I mean, at the tab here, like the 3% advance, the difference in advance rate was 14% to 16%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but over a huge sample, that changes the EV of your team massively to advance 1.5% more often.
And even though we are so invested in the Lions here, Goff is not a guy that's gonna be like if he ends up on 19 points per game, it's not going to be because he scored 19 every week. Like
Yes,
these are there's no rushing. We don't think like Mahomes maybe, right? But with these
right.
guys, you don't have a rushing floor, so you're going to have the up and downs. And I think that
Yeah,
8th round and beyond, especially this year, like if my first quarterback is in the 8th, I'm probably taking 3.
yes, yeah. I tend to agree with that. All right. Do you want to do another one? Or are you going to go watch the World Cup?
I'm here. I'll do another one.
All right, let's go ship another one. I am down to 93 Best Ball Mania drafts remaining.
That's actually pretty good. I mean, that's just telling with how many underdog tournaments are being pushed out.
Yes, yeah, it's really nice. What is extra nice about it is that I'm ahead of pace in terms of how the tournament is filling, but I'm about to go at the second week of July. I'm about to go on a long vacation, and it's if I got home from that vacation and I was like, oh my god, I have 75 teams left to draft. I'm like, there's no way I can. Okay, there you go. Influencer 101.
Heck yeah.
I'd be like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get all of these teams drafted. But now I can very comfortably sit here and say, I'm going to get all these teams drafted.
Will you be drafting on vacation?
I will be drafting non-Best Ball Manias on vacation. I will be doing whatever, probably slows. So probably whatever the Frenchie Friday or I guess.
Frenchie's never slow.
Frenchie's never slow. Yeah, Frenchies are never slow. That actually is a good point. Frenchies are never slow, which means that generally speaking, what happens on Friday is even if it's something that's going to fill right away, if it's like a 10 entry max, snap, I just do it. Whatever I'm doing, assuming I don't have my son, if I'm on my phone, I just do it.
At least they're not like the 25 entry or 50 entry, right? It's like it doesn't take that long.
Well, the Frenchie sprint was it? I didn't enter any of that because it was 150 max. If it was 20 max, I would have.
Yeah, that was a 150 max.
But it was 150 max, and I'm not going to enter 50% of a contest. If I enter it, like if you catch me in a puppy, you know that I'm in 149 of the other ones. I'm not going to do, absolute nightmare stuff, Sammy. I did my 150 DK training camp ones, like their pre-draft big one. I got one canceled after the tournament filled. So I only have 149.
That sucks.
Murdered. Oh, last week's Frenchie had a slow option over the weekend.
Oh,
okay.
With 150 max, you would have to think,
I guess 150 max.
How did they expect that to? That would take a little while.
Well, I think I would guess probably their thought was this is probably the only version of the sprint that we are going to do. Like they replaced like the sprint from last year with the Frenchie sprint, so they wanted to give as many people a chance to enter as possible. I would guess. Yeah, there you go. My guy.
Okay.
Sucky Irving. I don't know what's better, Sucky Irving or 42% Rachaad White. It's the battle. It's the battle of former.
Where are these people getting all these email addresses to make new accounts? That's what I want to know.
That is always my question. Like there are multiple Underdog usernames that are direct references to.
So funny.
Well, they're direct references to ADP chasing, which then makes me go, how is it possible that you were watching ADP chasing and didn't have an
Underdog account? Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense at all.
I guess some of maybe Pete's marketing must be working. Like there is username That's Fair. There is username Soccer Liam, which I'm like, you got who is probably watching this, maybe watching this on replay, Marker Tassel. But there are multiple ones where I'm like, where did you get that, bro?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really good stuff.
The the Jefferson Hampton start. I'm coming around. I'm coming around on Hampton. I was light on him.
Hop on
I'm
the
coming
train,
around.
brother. Hop on the train. I'm a big Hampton guy. Yeah, man. I don't know. What if like we love this Chargers offense so much, and then the 220-pound, really good receiver drafted in the first round a year ago is just amazing.
What if he's just really good?
What if he's just like the best pick on the board? You know?
Yes. And frankly, he could be. He really. I mean, it pains me. It pains me to say it.
But here's the thing, Davis.
I think worlds where he's better than Walker.
Well, yeah, I think that's true. But also Keaton could still be good even if Hampton smashes.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Like quite easily.
Davis coming around on Hampton is just mentioning Hampton's name before he takes Ken Walker.
That's right.
Hey, we're at Jake. We're in big boy draft season now. All right, Pickens and then who?
I'm happy to go ADP here. I would go Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, that's fine by me. And some people probably would not do that for combos reasons. Like, why would you just go ADP there? It's going to be super duped, whatever. To which I would say that 2-3 turn has been chopped and changed around so many times that here, let me check my actual combos. I'll bet this exact combo, Gibbs, Pickens, and Love. I'm going to guess I have 5 of these maybe. And I'm going to guess that it's less than 1%. Yeah, 0.2%. I have one of those. It's just not these combos that you think are so common. They just aren't. They really are not. And that was another one of my big arguments.
I think that I was when I enter 50 puppy 2 slows all at the same time, and I'm I'm making the picks in unison, and then I come across 4 Gibbs teams in a row, and the best picks are Pickens and Love on all of them, and I'm like, I don't really want to fill my portfolio with this. I'll switch it up. Rice is a guy that I would take there. I would take Brees. I would take Trey McBride. I think there's enough different stuff that you can do where, look, I mean, T. Higgins went at 22 here. You're not always getting Pickens falling to 24.
I mean, yeah, it's weird things happen in these drafts, even in Best Ball Mania. I mean, there's always the thought of everyone just drafts relatively good in Best Ball Mania. I mean, definitely not true. And also, I mean, how full is the tournament right now? What is it, 22% or something? 23.7% full right now. Think about all the how many people come to do their 2 Best Ball Mania drafts in August.
And that's another thing where it's inconceivable for anybody watching this stream to, just because everybody they're just so into everything that's happening right now and all the content and everything. But there are people that are this is my $25 for the year on August 15th.
It's literally inconceivable to the 200 and whatever people are watching this right now on June 25th. They're like, what do you mean you do 1 Best Ball Mania?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
A bunch of my real life friends will do, they'll maybe do 10 entries in a puppy. They'll do, there's a poodle. I'll do 1. Yeah. Best Ball Mania. I'm saving that. I'll do a BBM. I'll do a BBM in August. Generally speaking, at our home league draft, we will all try and hop in and do a Best Ball Mania together. It's kind of fun or whatever. But it's not, these dudes are not spending $2,000 drafting best ball teams. It's not happening. Yeah. I mean, Hope tweeted this that
I didn't know this was possible. You're allowed?
This is possible.
You're allowed to draft 1 and only 1?
4.5% of users uploaded custom rankings, period.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the niche is so small, but it feels so big.
It feels big because we're doing it every day, and you got Pete and you got Mason and you've got the ETR guys, and it feels like it's everywhere. I mean, I don't know anything about ETR's business. I would guess whatever their seasonal package is outsells their best ball package 5-1, 7-1, 10-1, something like that.
At least, I think. At least.
Yeah. And ETR, those are the best ball guys. Everyone goes to them for best ball stuff, but that's just the way it goes.
I would definitely like Loveland here.
Definitely Loveland. Yeah, I agree.
And then if we want to do lines again, I don't hate JMO. If you wanna get different-
No, let's take a running back. Let's do a weird team. Let's take Swift.
I love it. I'm
Let's do-
Swift. Swift is my favorite there.
Let's do that instead, and then we'll do Pickens kind of as like our anchor. I don't have very many combos. It's pretty easy to spend $2,000 putting like 10 entries into everything. I'm saying these guys are not spending $2,000 though. Like my real life buddies, if I had to guess, median spend $500, something like that, $500, which is, by the way, a totally normal, rational, well-adjusted way to approach this. Like before I was like a streamer and I just drafted this, like when I had my old job and I didn't have site credits and I had to spend a bunch of money, I would max BBM and I would max like 2 of the puppies, but I was not getting down like whatever my spend this year is going to be insane. It's going to be like $20,000 or something, which I would never do. Maybe if I was rich. If I was rich, of course I would, because I'm addicted to it. But if I was just a normal guy out there, no, like I certainly would not be maxing the poodle or whatever. And also most normal people would think spending $500 is too much.
But it's even over the course of like 3 or 4 months or whatever it is, right? And I think that like, you know, like you might like there might be a guy, he pops on every Saturday and he's like, I want to draft. Saturday night is when I'm going to draft a team. And he drafts one team every Saturday night and he ends up spending $400. And it's just like whatever's there, whether it's a Frenchie, a poodle. Oh, this, you know, I'm trying to eliminator this week. It's like there's so much more of that than we realize.
And that's the guy I gotta find. That guy might know who Mason is and has no idea who I am. That's the guy I gotta find, Sammy.
You gotta reel him in. You gotta show him. You gotta show him why he should be spending $20,000. That's what you have to do.
No, I don't encourage that. I would encourage. I think for someone who wants to. Now, I do think it's more responsible than this, which is what a lot of my real buddies do. Actually, is they love fucking home run parlays and touchdown parlays, and they like. I'll put that in my group chat.
That
I'll be
what
like,
BBM is? It's just
that's kind of how people. That's kind of how people conceive of it. I mean, I think you can be plus EV. You're just so much harder to realize, obviously, in Best Ball Mania. But like, if I texted my real life group chat buddies right now and I was like, all right, here's our goal parlay for these games, and it's 4 goals and it's 100 to 1 or whatever, they'd be like, bet immediately. Yeah, I'm in.
Lock.
I'm in.
You get the lock emoji in the chat.
Yes. And it's just like, I mean, it's crazy. Yes. I mean, it is crazy to think of it this way, that maxing DK and BBM alone is $7,500 American dollars. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of wild. Wow, dude. Look at this.
That is so nice. And all right. I would, I mean, I'm not going to agree with your capitulation. Let's take Marv.
Okay. Hey, fine by me. And it's actually, we already have Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
So we're levered on McBride here. We're saying McBride doesn't play week 17. We got it with my parlay guys in the chat. Touchdown parlays are way easier than home runs. Dude.
I'm not a baseball guy at all, so I can't speak to that. But dude, the touchdown parlays, like you hit one and you feel like you hit one and it's like 4 legs and you think that you're like God.
I've been there. I've been up. I've been down. I've done all this stuff. I've hit the insane 13 leg, like no chance this happens parlay. Let me tell you, it's pretty easy to give back. Because once you hit it once, you think, like, I remember
I'm not going to withdraw this. Are you crazy?
The crazy Luther Burden game, the Loveland Burden game, the week 17 one that won Sam Sherman $1 million. I had like all these insane alt overs on Burden and Loveland and Caleb Williams, and it hit like 200 to 1 or whatever. I did withdraw some of it. Every last dollar that I left in that Bet365 account went into golf bets that did not win. Like I probably gave back 60% of it. Very easy to give it back.
I mean, this is the thing with the gambling companies. Like if they literally have stuff in place where like if you're really good, they like limit you.
Yeah, they say it's over.
Yeah, exactly. So
they Bet365 mistakenly limited me after that to like $10 bets. And after I did like
Wow.
probably like 5 or 6 more bets, they were like, "Oh, never mind.
This guy's an
Sorry,
idiot. Why?
sorry, dude. This guy, sorry, dude. Yeah, you can bet whatever you want. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good to go. Sorry, we didn't mean anything by that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was really good. All right, what is this team? This team is cooking, actually. Caleb Williams,
It's fun.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, DeAndre Swift, George Pickens, Marvin Harrison, Colson Loveland. My sense is historically this is not yet. This is always anytime I do one of these relatively weird constructions, it maxes me out at like 14%.
Well, look, when you have such an insanely high sample size of 2 million teams,
yep,
and you do something that a very small portion of those teams have done, like obviously, like especially when like historically in BBM wide receiver has been so valuable, and there's been the avalanche and all this kind of stuff. I think it, but I'm specifically with like if we look at how we expect the offseason to go, 17th or 16th, 17th, 18th round running backs, getting some more value, knowing a little more as we get to August about RB2s and all this kind of stuff. I think that trying these sort of builds where maybe you like we take a 4th at the turn here and then we stop at running back and we end up with 9 wide receivers. I think even like 10 maybe we could do on this team. I think that works a little more now. And then maybe
100%.
building more 3-5-7-3, building more normal once we know more. But I think taking the swings on something fun like this is perfectly.
I mean, Gibbs loves Swift. You really probably don't even need. Wow, dude. I mean, if this guy takes Josh Downs, I'm gonna be so disappointed. Let's go. I mean, this has got to be worthy Downs.
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, is there a quarterback we need? No, not at all. Yeah, because we have Caleb.
No,
Dak is gone.
It'd be Goff if anything for Gibbs.
Yeah.
But no.
Oh my gosh.
That's fun.
We are cooking with gas. We are cooking with gas right now. How many teams am I gonna have? I mean, I'm over 1,000 right now. So it's June 25th. I don't think I'm gonna get to 3,000. I think that might end up being. I just don't think there's gonna be enough contests at the end of the day. I mean, I would have to max the big dog or something too. I think I don't think I'll get.
Isn't the big dog 64?
Big dog is 64, 65. And I'm saving the big dogs for August when all the viewers get here. I don't need the 242 of you who are watching right now. I love and respect all of you, but you're going to be here. You'd be here if I was drafting a puppy, probably. If you're making if you're making
that's non-derogatory. That's
like, 100% non-derogatory. Yeah. Oh, I see. I don't think they're going to do these this year, Jake. I don't think they're going to do the little Dalmatians because if you have noticed, the tenor of the contest have changed a little bit with the Frenchies. The Frenchies, so they're smaller, they're like 20 max, 5 max, 4 max contests that they're dropping more often, which is cool. More total contests, easier. And this is very smart of them because what they've done, I'm sure someone above talked to them about this. More finals. If you do more total contests, you are going to spread the total amount of users who are in a final.
And people are going to want to come back because they got a final and they love and the week 17 sweat was the best thing ever. And yeah, for sure.
How many dynasty teams do you have, MJ?
I have, I think, 20, give or take 3.
I was gonna say that's probably right about my number. I don't have all of them uploaded. So just on Flock, I have like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I just have. I mean, I'm in more than this, but not all of them are uploaded to the site. And then redraft. Oh god, I mean, I'm gonna have 50, 75 redraft teams.
Is that managed setting lineups? 50, 75?
Yes, yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, I'm including co-managed teams there. Okay. So like the way our ship chasing stuff works, well, the way it has, I don't know if they've talked to Steph about this, but like our ship chasing teams, like I don't have to do waivers for all of those. And then I will do some of the high stakes NFFC, and then those will probably be co-managed. And then Maybe it won't be 50. I mean, it's going to be a lot though. It's going to be a lot of fantasy football teams.
Yeah. I normally have like 3 redraft teams.
That's crazy,
I mean,
dude. How do you live?
Flock League, Home League, and then maybe I'll do like I'm streaming on Saturdays. I might do like 3, maybe 3 to 5 with the viewers in there.
It's probably last chance saloon at running back. Probably one of these running backs here.
I mean Mason again. That would be my guy here.
Yeah, let's do Mason, and then do we want to try and backstack Shuck again, or do we want to do maybe try Jaden Higgins and Stroud or something?
I think I prefer the latter. I think I prefer Jaden Higgins and try Stroud. Wandale and Cam.
I was gonna say Wandale and Cam. Yeah, and then
Cam, we're at like 140, right? He could.
Yeah.
He's at like 136 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's the Tate team got going on?
Oh, good question.
Would have been good to know.
Carnell Tate has Drake May and no one else, so we're probably not going to get him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you live and you learn. That's fine.
All right. Hey, first time for everything. Our locks only found Mason because I was talking about the Flock community contest being the flagship sites. I was saying the real flagship on Underdog is the Flock community contest. I was like, that's the one I'm trying to ship.
It is a funny little, like, everybody has their own path, It's like Mason Dodd. Who's that, Davis?
Well, I've actually talked about this with Mason, like in the very small corner of the internet that I occupy. Like Mason and I were talking about this when trying to decide like what I was going to do. So he's like, probably most of your viewers don't watch my channel, probably have never signed up on the Flock website. Like they have all their other stuff, they have all their other niche boutique fantasy sites that they like.
Niche kind of thing that I think whether it's you or Pete, that everybody occupies here. I think
100%. There you go. Gunnar Ross also.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, no, yeah. That honestly doesn't surprise me when you
that it's actually, it sounds surprising, but it's actually really not that surprising. Like Mason has like Mason's closest comp is like the fantasy footballers,
which honestly and he would take that as complimentary.
Yeah, it's just a totally different
completely
world.
100%.
He is creating content for a different audience.
So I've started doing some clipping from his streams.
Yeah.
And like I didn't realize it before, but the amount of like, it's just like informing about what it's a different way of like advice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, these are the bare bones of it as opposed to like, this is why I don't know the exact example, but like it gets a lot more narrow and more niche here for sure.
Yes. And the
oh my God, he didn't take Cam.
Wow. All right. We're running good.
He needed Dallas Goedert.
The clipping thing, some of the ship chasing shorts that Zach Lenars makes do crazy numbers. I don't know, maybe 1 out of every 10 or 1 out of every 20 will go like legitimately like viral, like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 views. And we never know why. We never really know why. And they don't, the issue with short form content is it's very hard to turn short form content into a subscriber, into someone who rocks with you. Like people, they see it and they like it or whatever, but then they scroll past.
Exactly.
It's a tough game. Wow. All right. Bang.
Nice.
We did get Cam Ward after ADP. But we could take dimes. We could take marks. We could take a tight end. What do you want to do here?
I don't mind Gadsden here. I don't mind Marks either as a 5th running back. I think both of those.
Let's take Gadsden because then we can be done at 2 tight ends if we want. Assuming that we're gonna get sniped on Terrence Ferguson.
Malik Willis at 140 is nuts. The other thing I would have done, like if we look at like a potential 2v2, I don't know what was available at wide receiver, but I'd pull Malik up to 121 there.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't have hated that at all.
Malik Willis, it'll be so interesting to see like how his season starts. Like if Malik Willis scores, I don't even know who the Dolphins play week 1, but like let's say he scores like 22 points while looking like absolute shit throwing the ball week 1.
The Justin
It'll
Fields,
just
you mean?
Yeah, exactly. But with way less benching probability than Fields. I mean, Fields' benching probability
Here's the
with
thing, though.
the Steelers was like 100%.
But with the Jets last year, I thought it was 0. Like if I had been making content last offseason, I would have been like, guys, there is 0. There is no way that the Jets are benching Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor. They gave him $40 million. And then like he was just bad enough. And Malik Willis is capable of being that bad that they're like, let's just look at Quinn Ewers. Let's get a look.
Malik Willis is not a practice quarterback.
I don't care. Look, that I could not give less of a shit about who looks better at OTAs. But I do think that the bench risk is, and this is why he is like Malik Willis is infinitely a better pick in managed, but that doesn't make him a bad pick in best ball. I still think he's a really good pick in best ball.
Wow. A guy who I would say Slime Santana over the years, I would say he has an ambivalent relationship towards me. He said that this is the best team I've ever drafted. Bookmark it. It's a pretty good team. I mean, this is two back-to-back really good ones. Teams. Yeah. I mean, really all you need is a little it's just so funny. The easiest way to draft a sick team that everyone likes is for like 3 other drafters in your draft to make a mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just exactly
an ADP value on all of these guys. The Cardinal Tate drafter who needed Cam Ward took Dallas Goedert instead.
Yeah. I've not done any of the new slotted times yet for the big dog or for the mastiff or whatever. I literally thought, I was like, did they just do this for Mason? Did they just do this for Mason so he can have a big dog fill when he goes live?
Yeah, I think that's funny. When I saw that, I was praying that they would do it for more than the big dog because this would be awesome. I would get to stream drafts.
Yeah.
I'd be able to stream drafts if they had this for every tournament, which would be like
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I could go in the mid-afternoon. I could enter the draft, come home, stream at 8:00, and I'd be in it live.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
But sadly, the World Cup bet that I have for you guys. Well, actually, you could still get it. It's live. But Jan Diamande to get a goal or assist. I don't even care what the price is. It's good to minus 9,000. In fact, the game just started. He might have literally already scored.
It is Curacao, man. Curacao is stuff. He's fun. I didn't know. Like he didn't come out of nowhere. Like I knew it. We got to make I mean, we could use a fifth. I don't mind Taja. Yeah. And then definitely wide receiver. I mean,
you know,
I don't mind your boy or
we need Judy. This team needs a Judy.
Oh yeah, chaperone. Yeah, sure.
Extreme chaperone.
Jerry Judy's he's probably gonna play, man.
I was talking about this on Ship Chasing the other day. I was like, man, I just keep getting on. Like I was in the right spot of a bunch of puppies where I needed a wide receiver, and I was like, man, I just keep clicking Jerry Judy. I just keep clicking Jerry Judy.
1,200 yards in 2024. People forget.
I just like it would be like way too slappy of me, I think, to take AD Mitchell ahead of Jerry Judy. I mean, maybe I need to, but
look, I mean, largely inconsequential, probably over the span of a portfolio.
Yeah, I was going to say ultimately unlikely to matter. Yeah. World Cup favorites to win after the group stages. I mean, it's still France. France are so good, man. They are different.
Spain looked a little better in their second game. I think that I don't know. France are obviously France are nuts.
They need Nico Williams to get healthy. I think he's only played like 10 minutes thus far. If Nico Williams gets healthy and he's on the other side of Yamal, then they're gonna be quite fearsome. All right. 3 tight end gives us what? I mean, it does give us a pretty good bump historically. 8 wide. I mean, we're in such a weird part of the game tree now. It doesn't even have data for us. Yeah. And then I think we're totally fine with
definitely 5 running backs. Yeah. So we've got you wouldn't go a third QB here. Like I would consider it honestly if there was somebody available.
I mean, the thing
there's
is,
T-Ferg.
it's impossible. It can't be done anymore.
16th round. Wow.
I mean, I guess I suppose that I would take Jacoby Brissett on the. I mean, he just went at 184, so I guess not. I would take Jacoby on this team, but just the general thought of Jacoby either not starting or not finishing the season now is just so terrifying to me.
I wouldn't click Jacoby a single time. I would, like in a desperate situation, take Carson back.
I would. I would take Carson back in the Superflex stuff, but
of course,
I don't expect him to be any good. I just don't think he's going to get enough points.
Yeah, it's just very Tyler Shucky to me, and it is like if this offensive line can even improve a little bit, it is a really good situation. Like for a quarterback, it is a very, very good situation. You have two very talented wide receivers, albeit
I would maybe be into taking back if Gardner Minshew was not on the team, but Minshew being there is a complicating factor. All right, probably one wide receiver, one tight end here. You got a tight end you like here?
I don't mind Pat Freiermuth. I think he makes sense for our build as well.
And then probably two more wide receivers to end this.
We don't have a rookie yet. I like Elijah Surratt.
I can't go anywhere without. Yeah, do we not have a rookie yet? I guess we don't.
Well, not a wide receiver at least.
A lot of weight on George Pickens' shoulder here. I guess you could take Jacoby in 20 rounds or whatever, but yeah, looks like we're
piece. Like I think it's fine, but also just the fact that like there is no guarantee he plays at all. Like if he would be a fine click to me as an advance rate piece, if I was like, he has a contract and he's like at OTAs and he's starting week 1 and all of that's guaranteed. But when you take that away, it's like, I also don't think that even when he is starting, that we should expect anything close to what he did last year, which was frankly, remarkable in terms of just consistently putting up 20 fantasy points per game.
It's like, I mean, it was Bortles-esque in terms of the ability to generate garbage time.
He was my I rotated through the back half of the year in the Flock League last year. So I drafted Justin Fields, of course. That went how it went. I started 2-1 and then, whatever. But the back half of the year I was Jackson Dart and Jacoby Brissett into the playoffs. And Dart missed a few games and Jacoby was perfect.
Man, let me tell you, assuming that Jeanty does not take my spot, I just so do not want to finish last in this league, man. I'm gonna be more locked into redraft strategy than ever in my entire life, so that I do not get last in this league.
First video came out this week. If anybody hasn't checked that out yet, be sure to. I can finally reveal that I'm back, sharing a team with the Ladster. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, sharing. Is that what? Why do you have to share a team with? Is it my fault?
No. So I won the fan spot, right?
Yes. Okay.
The only
so
way
the fans are now getting your spot, and you've been brought inside the fold.
Basically, what happened? Yeah. So I was only getting my spot back if I won the league. I didn't win the league, so Mason basically, and then lucky for me, Danny decided to rage quit the league in like week 13 last year, and Mason wanted to punish him for not submitting clips down the stretch. So his punishment is that he has to.
That's crazy. I did not know this because I was not locked in. I was unaware of the lore.
Yeah. So yeah, there was some things that happened. Danny didn't submit clips for the last like month, and he like kind of needed to because he ended up losing the league, and like it would have been good for content, but he just completely wasn't about. And
that's actually crazy.
It was wild.
Yeah. I mean, we can take Xavier Thomas again.
2 Xavier Thomas teams. I mean, hey, if we're gonna win
Bateman, Tyquan,
I'm whatever, dude. I mean,
let's take Keenan.
Sure. Yeah. I've clicked him a few times.
I never take 142 points last year. He can't be done.
No, he can't be. I don't think he is. And I think that the odds that he ends up as a Chief is thin, like I was mentioning before. But dude, he's just so primed to ruin Lad McConkey's life. Shout out TD Vultures in the chat. Big Flock League community member.
Don't be rude to my guy, Sammy.
No. I think he's being sarcastic because
Okay.
I tweeted out that this is not a punishment. Danny has the reward of sharing a team with me. Yeah.
Well, I'm very pumped for it. Beware the trades. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good at fantasy football. I feel like I'm
It's
good
hard to
at
get it's difficult in this league to get completely hoodwinked. Like everybody knows what they're doing. There are trades, however, where somebody makes them and then everybody else just clowns on it. Like that, of course, that's going to happen. But largely, look, it's hard to finish last. It's difficult to finish last.
It's hard to finish last. All right, let's okay, hold on. Let's recap this team. 14 team league, right?
No, 12.
12 team. Okay, there we go.
Standard.
Pretty easy to not finish last. I have an 8% chance, if you assume 8.3% chance of finishing last.
That would assuming all things equal. I mean,
yes.
Yeah,
we'll see. Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, DeAndre Swift, Jordan Mason, Tajay Spears, George Pickens, Marvin Harrison, Josh Downs, Xavier Worthy, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Surratt, Keenan Allen, Colston Loveland, Aranda Gadsden, Pat Fryermuth. I mean, the people out there, they're not in on Gadsden. Gadsden, like,
here's the thing. I was not a big Gadsden guy coming out of last year, like for Dynasty and this kind of stuff. Then Best Ball Mania opens, and I wasn't really taking him very much. And then they signed Njoku, and now I'm like, the price now, I kind of feel I'm perfectly fine with it. Like he's gonna be a part-time player in an offense that we are really, really excited about, and he has, oh heck yeah, Diamande.
I just like that was a literal blood bank, dude. Like I was selling my soul for the Diamande score point. That was always happening.
But I think, like at 145, a tight end who I think he has the most, and this is not a stat that I think, says a ton, but he's the only tight end in the last 15 years, along with Kyle Pitts, to put up 150 receiving yards in one game as a rookie. Now, there's just an upside. There's an upside there for best ball specifically in an offense that we're so excited about in like the 13th round.
Are there lots of ways for him to lose his playing time because he can't block? Yes. Did Mike McDaniel get Darren Waller out of retirement as one of the worst blocking tight ends before he retired, came back in and played him every down? Yes, he did. And if you think that the NFL, like if your base conception is all these teams are going to be playing more 12 and 13, then it makes extra sense that every tight end room that plays that way has the receiver and the blocker, right? And even like, frankly, I think Njoku is probably cooked. Like, I think Njoku is the one who loses out.
See, I take Gadsden a perfectly fine amount. I'm not smashing him, but I also do take Njoku in the last round, and I'm also fine with Gadsden. Like I think that there's enough upside at both of those spots. I don't think Njoku's completely cooked. He got hurt last year, and I think that the Fannin, Njoku got mogged by Fannin. I mean, Fannon's really good, and Njoku got hurt. It's tough. I take Njoku. I take Gadsden. I definitely don't take Charlie Kolar though. That I mean, look, I can't get on the. I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Every time, like Sack has gotten me on Sack Religious has gotten me on so many of these that I'm like, I'm sure there's something I'm not seeing. But man, do I not see it.
They're calling him the starter. They're calling him the starter, right? But it's like that can mean a lot of things. And saying, okay, yeah, look, he's obviously a dog in the run game. He's an insane blocker. Okay, great. He's gonna get on the field. Sure. He's really good vertically. He's had a few of these pop-up plays when the Ravens are playing in prime time, and like, oh, that's not Andrew Zor likely. But is that not like a very similar situation that he's in now? Like, Charlie Kolar played a lot for the Ravens in a room with two other tight ends that also played a bunch that are also better receivers than him. So, yeah, it seems like he's in the exact same situation as he was before, but this time it's a second contract. And so because they had to pay him and because he's the starter, technically, I don't know. It doesn't really compute to fantasy points for me.
I get it. All right, last thing. Are you taking Brandon Ayuk? Are you not taking Brandon Ayuk?
On Jaden Daniels teams in round 17, if I don't have a stack, he's a smash. Other than that, like, yeah.
I think that's totally reasonable. I do think he is going to. I do think he probably is going to sign. I mean, it feels like there is too much. There's too much smoke. The smoke is everywhere.
But at the same time, he is generating all the smoke.
I guess that's true.
You know, we gotta look at the source of the smoke. Who started the fire? You know,
who started the fire? Well, Brandon Ayuk started the fire.
Brandon Ayuk is starting a lot of fires.
He's starting a lot of fires. All right, guys, you can check everyone out on. You can check Sammy's YouTube out. Sammy Stacks Fantasy.
Sure.
Go do that, and then there is going to be. You guys are going to be redirected to my Dynasty channel. If you guys are into that, brand new video, my Dynasty rookie rankings update. That'll go be sent right now. Make sure you like the video. Check out my stuff over on flockfantasy.com. Code Davis. Link is in the description and in the comments. Take it easy.